Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to HIMediaTV. I am your host, Evan from HIMediaTV, and today I want to talk to you about modding and goonery and debauchery. You know, if I was a YouTuber that was worth a damn, I would have had that, debauchery clip from SpongeBob play here, but I'm not, so, you know, we're professionals, folks. But I digress. So, you might be wondering, Evan, you're playing Skyrim. What does this have to do with debauchery? Well, this, ladies and gentlemen, is me wanting to talk about modding. And modding and the goofy stuff that can be done with it. So back in the heady days of 2013, 2012, and 2013, when I was first introduced to Skyrim as a concept, I got it for my shitty little Toshiba that was not equipped to run this game. Barely equipped at all. Especially it doesn't help the fact that I, torrented it. It was over a decade ago. Even if the statute of limitations started off, what are you gonna do? Throw me in the can for some shit I did when I was 13? Shut up. And hell, up until I think 2016, I was using a pirated copy of Dragonborn to play the third DLC. But even with all that considered, one of the things you have to deal with when you are a 13-year-old kid with relatively unsupervised access to the internet, and if we're being perfectly honest, a unhealthily high libido due to taking 500 milligrams a day of lamictogen. And due to all of those facts, you can pretty much guess that the moment I found out what Lover's Lab was, I basically turned my Skyrim into a goon sesh. Because of course I did, because I was 12, 13 years old with unrestricted access to the internet and my own computer. Like everything, I don't even want to list all the names of the mods, mainly because I can't remember some of them, but some of them were just like some deep cut, kinky, weird bullshit because I was a 13-year-old kid with absolutely no control over my environment and a mother that was a control freak with a stepfather that, if I'm being honest, kind of enabled that behavior. Everybody's been to therapy at this point, so that's no longer a thing in today's day and age, but the repercussions and, are reflected in both what I was doing then and my sex life currently. Anywho, the reason I wanted to talk about this was because one of the things that I noticed in my time playing Skyrim with all of these goonerific mods on is that if I'm being perfectly honest, it is playing, and this is why I wanted to talk about this, right? There are plenty of people who will mod their Master Duel, for example. So, like, you have titties out and shit on your boards, or you have people who will only play female characters because they want to see ass jiggling in front of them. And one of the things that kind of always skis me out to a degree is that I see people doing this shit and I don't understand it, simply for the fact that it is the worst way to get your rocks off, and it is the worst way to play a video game. Because these types of mods, sex in video games is a very, you have to walk a very thin line to make that work in a way that is meaningful. Ultimately, it really doesn't matter at the end of the day, how, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day, like, how great the jiggle physics are. Like, is the game fun to play? And it's like, if I'm focusing on killing zombies, I don't really care if I have fucking, Siri Doll or Mia Khalifa recreated in Skyrim as a companion with jiggle physics and ass to match. Like, it takes away from the experience in a certain degree. And so I realized this after like 6 months of just like modding my Skyrim hell, and then what I like, and since then, I haven't felt compelled to like have any kind of mods or experience that do that. Like in earlier, how I was talking about how sex in video games is a very fine line to where it can like matter. Like, for example, in Baldur's Gate 3, the sex scenes you get in Act 1 or Act 3 or both are always, representative of effort and bonding with a specific character. You don't get it just out of nowhere. It's the same thing with The Witcher. You don't get to have these intimate and meaningful moments with Yennefer or Triss, depending on, which route you decide to go down to, just by virtue of you wanting it. Games that treat sex in video games like, the thing it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be like the culmination of, intimacy and connection with another human being. That's the ideal scenario for what sex is supposed to be. The problem is that a lot of people, a lot of the people who treat sex as pornography don't really do that. And make no mistake, I am not anti-porn by any stretch of the imagination. I do think that there's more ethical ways to consume it, whether that is by virtue of things like, if you must, mods from video games, or paying for somebody's OnlyFans. Like, those are definitely more ethical ways to consume it. And free porn is generally the devil, but, is what it is. I think ultimately at the end of the day, it's like if you're going to do gooner shit, just do gooner shit on like Twitter for the hub or for OnlyFans or wherever the fuck you decide to do it. Because fundamentally at the end of the day, you're not going to enjoy the game you're playing by modding it to have jiggle physics everywhere. I'm a horny bastard, right? Like, I am taking 100 milligrams of lamictal every day, which has the nasty side effect of making it basically you having your libido going through the goddamn roof. Now, granted, that is 5 times less than what I was taking at 13, so I am certainly in a much better mindset. But the fact that I also take Zoloft, which makes it impossible to finish, doesn't help either. So, we're just I'm just living in hell. But at the end of the day, I don't need to constantly be sexually stimulated to have, meaningful release. I just exist. Fundamentally, I say to anybody watching this who's made it this far in the video, who is somebody who mods your video games to be borderline pornographic, or you can't play a video game, a match of Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel without having your cards be skimpy, bikini-clad girls and shit. Touch grass. Download Tinder. Kiss your girlfriend. Like, I promise you, I promise you, there are, even if you're going to mod your game, there are better mods to get to make your enjoyment of said game better. Look at this! I'm doing the Bleak Falls Barrel quest with a maxed out character because I got a slew of mods that allow me to basically play New Game Plus. And I'm doing New Game Plus in Skyrim right now as we speak, as I yap to you about this. I have a dimensional rift home that, in line with this New Game Plus type of thing, is functionally working as my Firelink Shrine or Roundtable Hold. And it's great. I can go into the sorting system and dump all my shit, and it feeds the loot goblin in my brain. It's wonderful. I love it. I can't say no to it. And, this there are so many ways with games like Minecraft, Skyrim, any Bethesda game really, in tons of games that are benefited by a vibrant modding community. I promise you, Boon shit is not one of them. I implore you, get your head out of your ass, and I promise you, you'll be enjoying yourself significantly more. Toodaloo.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you want to talk to me outside of this video, outside of live streams, or just join the community and be a part of it, you can do so at HIMediaTV/Discord. Discord links there. We'd love to have you. And given the financial situation of the economy right now, I know this is a tall ask, but if you have the scratch to spare, please consider donating and becoming a supporter at HIMedia.gg/tip. All of our perks are serviced through our Discord channel, including early access videos, exclusive videos, and more. Your generosity is a blessing, and $1 a month is a boon to my mental health. Thank you so very much for watching. I appreciate you, and have a great day.